Montana, thank you so much to be with us today.
No, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
You had an amazing talk. It was really inspiring and it was really touching to learn about your whole journey with Swim Society. When you were a student, did you ever imagine that you were going to work in the realm of swimwear actually, or anything related to sustainability and inclusive brand?
I actually had no idea at all. I think when I was at university, it's always that $1 million question, like what do I want to do when I grow up? And I think people always ask you in different stages of your life, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do? And I truly had no idea what I wanted to do. I was actually going to do a graduate scheme, but instead I went on Love Island, which was amazing because it gave me this platform, and I felt like the world was my oyster because I had an amazing kind of platform to really do whatever I wanted to do. I think I've definitely fast-tracked with the business because I think someone who doesn't have that natural exposure, it's so much more difficult, and my hats are off to people who start their brands from scratch without having any profile, because you know I've got friends who are influencers. I can say wear this, do a post in this, and I can kind of get press shots as well, which again is really, really helpful and definitely helped me excel faster than probably the normal person would.
Would you mind explaining to us what it is about, how it came to life and how you decided to pour yourself into it?
So when I started Swim Society, I was actually on the beach in the Maldives and I was with a few friends.
Anyone.
Yeah, just your average holiday. And we were all complaining about how the swimwear didn't fit right, how it was see-through, how they were really nervous about coming on holiday in the first place because they didn't feel like the swimwear was supportive enough. And I kind of had a bit of a light bulb moment, thinking, I want to start a brand that empowers people to wear what they want, because I thought just because someone has bigger hips, why does that mean that they have to wear a high-waisted swimsuit? And I think women have always kind of been suppressed and been made to feel self-conscious about what they wear and how they wear it and what they're allowed to wear. But really we're trying to break the boundary of that and just empower women to wear what the hell they want, and feel sexy and feel empowered and feel confident. So that's something that's been a real passion of mine, and I think that really kind of comes to life within Swim Society as well.
You've managed to create a brand that is highly inclusive. When I have a look at the model that you use, I think your brand is one of the rare brands when I feel, I feel like I can go and feel myself quite, sexy with a nice outfit when I'm going to go on the beach, especially in my case because I've just had a baby, so you don't feel like you really are in control of your shapes. So how would you say it's been easy or not, or challenging to create the inclusivity of your brand and the sustainable aspect, because it's very expensive, like you mentioned it in your talk?
Yeah, and I think that's just it's a massive part, is obviously costs and profits, and I think a lot of companies are led by just making money and not thinking too much about the values and the ethos of the brand. But I think it's shame on them really, because I think as soon as you start caring about the community that you're serving, they look after you as much as you look after them with good swimwear, because you have to make them feel special and you have to make people feel like they want to come back and buy again and have repeat purchases. So in order to do that, I think you have to find that real sweet spot of staying within budget, but also not cutting corners on quality, because then the brand will sell itself if it's good quality. And I think the sustainability and the non-categorization and the all-inclusive kind of messaging is a non-negotiable for us, and everything else kind of comes as a secondary.
You mentioned in your talk that initially you started getting Swim Society produced in China. For a young entrepreneur that wants to create a sustainable aspect to their brand, but really want to dedicate themselves, but like you said, it's expensive, would you say that the most sustainable journey would be to start in China, in Bangladesh, and when there is enough profit then to deviate to go into Portugal like you did, into more around area basically in Europe?
Yeah, definitely, and I think I don't have harsh words to say about China, because there are some fantastic factories. It's finding the right factories, and the difficulty is you don't know if it's a good factory. Someone can tell you that they've got a good factory, but actually getting yourself to China and where these factories are, which is actually a really remote kind of village in China, it's just not going to happen. It's expensive. So again, with it being closer to home, we have the ability to go to these factories and to actually check for ourselves, whereas I think that's what's really difficult, is that there are some really bad factories in China, there are also some really good ones, but differentiating the two is really difficult if you're not there, and actually having a look and seeing what's going on.
What would you see for Swim Society in 5 years' time? What would be your vision? Or what's your vision right now for in 5 years' time?
I would say that I would like Swim Society to kind of have a big presence in the US, have a big presence in Australia, and again, to create a bigger community of women would be incredible. And I think the way that we can do that is by doing these workshops that I spoke about earlier, and just really connecting with people and making people feel that they can make friends at these workshops, and you can really connect with people, because as you get older, as you become an adult, meeting people, meeting like-minded people is so much more difficult. And I feel like this can be a really positive and healthy and special space for people to connect with each other.
You mentioned as well that you secured an investment from Fearless Adventures.
Yes.
And that is booming your brand at the moment and will continue so as well. Would you mind talking about the process of how you achieved it and how you could advise young entrepreneurs who are trying themselves to secure a significant investment?
Yeah, definitely. I had actually looked prior to Fearless Adventures at different methods of getting investment, which I'd recommend to other people. Crowdcube is an amazing platform to raise investment, because it's kind of a bit more of a digital platform, because traditionally investors and the whole VC angel investors kind of territory is very old school. It's all about who you know, but Crowdcube is really an amazing way for people to get their brand out there to the right people. I would say that you really do need somebody to help you with cash flow and your forecasting. So if you're not specifically good at finances and kind of doing all the spreadsheets, then I would definitely hire somebody who can do that, because investors are going to want to know your 5-year plan. So that's really important, I'd say.
How would you advise someone that is just opening their Twitter account or their Instagram account for their brand to build themselves up to have a significant impact on social media and be recognized, basically?
So I would say making use and utilizing social media platforms such as Instagram, such as TikTok. You see a lot of small brands growing really rapidly on TikTok internationally. I would also say doing the small things, like for example, a girl that I met earlier who was asking one of the questions, she has a tea brand, and she actually just gave me one just then, and I thought that's actually really amazing, because she's making use of that moment that I had with her. She didn't ask for a picture, she actually just used that as an opportunity to give me her business card and actually to give me a sample of her tea, which I thought was amazing. So I think it's about being tenacious and putting yourself in situations where, you know, I don't know, I'm not going to say no. So, you know, next time I do make myself a cup of tea, I might use it and I might love it and I might ask for more, and then I might put it on my story. So it's making use of these kind of events, and again, it comes back to connecting with people. So, you know, putting yourself in opportunities that can really, really help you.
You mentioned something about, casting the public.
Yes.
Any type of women could come up. Can you just mention again about this opportunity?
Yeah, so we do open castings. So essentially we ask women of all shapes and sizes and ages to post a video with the hashtag Swim Society Search, and we had to pick 50 people actually out of the last one that we did because of COVID, but normally we'd like to meet as many people as possible, and we pick 5 or 6 girls to be part of a campaign that we put all over our website, all over our socials, and just so people can see normal bodies in the campaign. So we had 6 girls actually that we shot with a few months ago, and it was just so uplifting and so refreshing just to see normal bodies. We want to see the stretch marks, we want to see saggy boobs, we want to see like big hips, everything that makes a woman, that's what we want to see. We actually don't Photoshop any of our pictures because we believe that it's important to show people like the realities, and they are beautiful.
And my final question is, except Swim Society, is there anything else that you're working at the moment that you're allowed to talk about with us?
So we've got the next collection coming up in February, which hasn't been announced yet, so that's really, really exciting. Like I said, we've changed factory to Portugal, so it's been a really amazing journey, meeting the factory, using different materials, so we're very, very excited about the launch of that. We've got a new employee called Lizzie who does everything design and production, and she has absolutely transformed the business already. She's only been with us kind of 6 months, but yeah, she's been incredible in kind of making the way into making our swimwear the best quality that it can be. So that's something that's really exciting. We'll be doing another shoot in April for our high summer drop, which will be kind of around April, June. So we've got some really exciting things coming up, and also workshops, hopefully, fingers crossed. So definitely keep your eyes peeled.